Welcome to Lunch Break Wisdom. Short ideas from the world's most influential books, designed for a quiet break between work, a commute home, or a moment to think more clearly. Today's episode explores one of the most profound collections of philosophical writings ever produced, the Upanishads. If the Bhagavad Gita teaches us how to live in the world, the Upanishads ask a more fundamental question. Who is the one living this life in the first place? This question may sound abstract, yet it lies beneath many of humanity's deepest concerns. Who am I beneath my roles and responsibilities? What remains when success fades or circumstances change? Is there something enduring beneath the constant stream of thoughts, emotions, and experiences that occupy everyday life? The Upanishads emerged in ancient India over 2,000 years ago. They form the philosophical culmination of the Vedas and have profoundly influenced Hindu thought, Vedanta, philosophy, yoga, traditions, and spiritual seekers around the world. Despite their age, the questions they raise remain strikingly contemporary. At their heart, the Upanishads invite readers into a journey of inquiry. Not blind acceptance, not rigid dogma, but investigation. The first major teaching concerns the distinction between the temporary and the eternal. Human experience unfolds amidst constant change. Bodies age, relationships evolve, careers shift, opinions transform, pleasure arises and disappears, pain arrives and eventually recedes. Everything external appears subject to impermanence. The Upanishads ask, if everything changes, is there anything that remains unchanged? This question forms the foundation of their philosophy. Another central concept is Atman. Atman is often translated as the true self. Importantly, this self is not the personality, not the ego, not the collection of memories and preferences people ordinarily identify with. Rather, Atman refers to the deepest essence of being, the witnessing awareness underlying experience itself. Many people spend enormous energy constructing identities. Professional achievements, social roles, personal narratives. These dimensions matter, yet the Upanishads suggest they are not the entirety of who we are. The invitation becomes, can I observe my thoughts without assuming I am my thoughts? Can I experience emotions without becoming completely defined by them? Can I recognize a deeper dimension of identity beneath changing circumstances? The Upanishads also introduce the concept of Brahman element here. Brahman refers to the ultimate reality underlying existence, infinite, timeless, beyond limitation. The famous declaration Tattvam Asi, either Tani Ain, often translated as that thou art, expresses one of the most profound insights in Vedanta. The deeper self, Atman, is not separate from the ultimate reality, Brahman. In other words, the essence of who you are is intimately connected with the essence of existence itself. For many readers, this idea can feel difficult to grasp intellectually, yet its practical implications are significant. If separation represents only part of reality, then compassion becomes natural. The suffering of others matters. Interconnectedness becomes more than poetic language. Another recurring theme in the Upanishads involves ignorance. Not ignorance as lack of information, but ignorance concerning one's true nature. People mistake temporary identities for permanent truths. They seek lasting fulfillment through impermanent experiences. They pursue external validation while neglecting inner understanding. The Upanishads describe this condition as a form of forgetting. Modern life often reinforces this tendency. People become consumed by comparison, achievement, consumption, distraction. The Upanishadic path invites remembrance, returning attention toward what truly matters. Another major concept concerns desire and attachment. The texts acknowledge that human beings naturally seek pleasure and avoid discomfort, yet excessive attachment creates suffering. People cling to outcomes, fear loss, define themselves through possessions or status. The Upanishads do not necessarily condemn enjoyment. Rather, they caution against dependence. Can I appreciate life without becoming enslaved by it? Can I engage fully while maintaining perspective? This principle parallels insights found across many wisdom traditions. Freedom emerges not through withdrawal from life, but through transforming one's relationship to it. The Upanishads also emphasize direct experience. Secondhand knowledge possesses limitations. Reading about peace differs from experiencing it. Studying compassion differs from embodying it. The sages repeatedly encourage inquiry grounded in practice, meditation, reflection, self-observation, inner stillness. The goal extends beyond acquiring concepts. It involves transformation of awareness itself. This raises an important distinction. Information can be transferred. Wisdom often requires participation. Another profound teaching concerns the restless mind. The mind constantly categorizes, judges, anticipates, remembers, and compares. It proves useful, yet it can also dominate experience. Many people spend their lives trapped within endless mental narratives, replaying past events, imagining future scenarios, criticizing themselves, comparing themselves with others. The Upanishads suggest that peace emerges not through eliminating thought, but through recognizing that awareness itself remains larger than any particular thought. This insight has influenced contemporary mindfulness practices and psychological approaches, emphasizing cognitive flexibility. Another theme involves fear. Fear often arises through identification with what can be lost. Status, possessions, relationships, physical existence. The Upanishads propose that recognizing one's deeper nature transforms one's relationship with fear. Impermanence remains real. Grief remains real. Yet beneath changing conditions lies a dimension untouched by external fluctuation. This perspective does not eliminate pain, but it may cultivate resilience. The Upanishads also explore the role of teachers and guidance. Many dialogues occur between students and wise mentors. Questions receive thoughtful responses. Inquiry becomes collaborative. Importantly, genuine teachers encourage understanding rather than dependency. Their role involves pointing toward truth rather than demanding unquestioning obedience. This remains relevant today. Mentors can accelerate growth, yet discernment remains essential. Healthy guidance empowers autonomy. Another significant concept concerns the limitations of language. Ultimate reality cannot be captured fully through concepts. Words point, metaphors illuminate, yet direct experience transcends description. The Upanishads frequently employ paradox, silence, symbolism, not because clarity lacks value, but because some dimensions of existence resist reduction. Modern culture often prioritizes certainty. The Upanishads encourage humility. Mystery need not threaten understanding. It can deepen wonder. Another beautiful aspect of these texts concerns contentment. Modern economies frequently depend upon dissatisfaction. Buy more, achieve more, compare more. The Upanishads suggest another possibility. Contentment does not eliminate ambition. Rather, it frees ambition from desperation. People can pursue goals without believing fulfillment depends entirely upon their attainment. This balance proves liberating. Toward the end of many Upanishadic teachings emerges a vision of liberation. Liberation does not necessarily involve escaping the world physically. Instead, it refers to freedom from ignorance, freedom from compulsive attachment, freedom from mistaken identity, freedom from the belief that happiness depends exclusively upon external conditions. Such freedom allows individuals to engage life more fully, to love deeply without clinging, to work diligently without obsession, to appreciate beauty without fear of impermanence. Ultimately, the Upanishads remain relevant because they address universal questions. Who am I? What is real? What truly satisfies? How can peace emerge amidst uncertainty? The answers they offer may resonate differently depending upon individual worldviews, yet their invitation remains profound. Slow down. Pay attention. Question assumptions. Observe, experience carefully, and consider the possibility that beneath the noise of daily life lies a dimension of being more spacious, peaceful, and interconnected than we ordinarily recognize. Perhaps the greatest lesson is this: many people spend their lives searching outwardly for what can only be discovered inwardly, not because external achievements lack value, but because they cannot fully answer questions concerning identity, meaning, and belonging. The Upanishads suggest that wisdom begins when inquiry turns inward, not toward narcissism, but toward understanding, because the person asking the question may itself be the deepest mystery of all. And in exploring that mystery with sincerity, patience, and courage, human beings may discover not only themselves, but also their connection to the greater whole of existence. In summary, key concepts from the Upanishads. 1. Atman, the deeper self beyond personality and ego. 2. Brahman, the ultimate reality underlying existence. 3. Tattvam Asi, that thou art, the unity of self and reality. 4. Ignorance as misidentification, confusing temporary identities with deeper truth. 5. Direct experience. Wisdom requires participation, not merely information. 6. Freedom through detachment, engagement without compulsive attachment. 7. Liberation, inner freedom from fear, ignorance, and unnecessary suffering. Everyday takeaways for you. Observe thoughts without becoming defined by them. Build identity upon values rather than external roles alone. Practice moments of stillness and reflection. Pursue goals without tying self-worth entirely to outcomes. Recognize interconnectedness in relationships and communities. Cultivate contentment alongside ambition. Have you ever experienced a moment that made you question who you really are beneath your roles and achievements? Share your reflections below and suggest future books for lunch break wisdom. Please subscribe and comment